Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. Kellen here with Droid Life. And I know what you're probably saying. Hey, finally, you've got it in-house. And I know, we finally do. But that doesn't mean we aren't going to cover it in a way most people don't. We aren't going to pay the same attention to it and have a lot of fun talking about it. And yes, I'm talking about the Galaxy Note 7. We do finally have one in-house. And so to get this review period started, even if this might seem a little late to you, we're going to do it anyway. This is our Galaxy Note 7 unboxing. Now, obviously, our box is different than a normal retail box, and we'll show you a retail box in just a second. This is a review unit. Samsung was kind enough to send this over. Thank you, Samsung. So we'll have this for a while. We'll review it. We'll also have some other models in-house. And in fact, in a day or so, we probably should have just about every variant possible. So let us know if you have any specific questions about individual models. But anyway, let's just start busting into this thing. So giant box. That's a letter to me about reviewing it or something like that. So in here though, fast wireless charger. This is obviously, the Note 7 obviously has fast wireless charging. This is their newest charger, the one with the stand. This came out with the S7 and we have a couple of these around the office already. Great little product if you want to fast wirelessly charge. But this is the phone and this is what we obviously care the most about. So slide that over there. And yeah, so packaging, obviously very similar to Galaxy S7 packaging, maybe even going back to last year. I think the S6 boxes might have looked this way as well. So nothing really to show you there. Well, on the back side though, we do have a little bit of a spec list. So LTE capable, of course, 5.7-inch Quad HD AMOLED display, 12 megapixel rear camera, 5 megapixel on the front, IP68 dust and water resistance, which is a huge deal actually. Iris scanner, 64 gig storage with SD card expansion, Samsung Pay, wireless fast charging, blah blah blah. You guys get that on the side here. Nice little S Pen, new S Pen. So T-Mobile variant, in case you missed that. Let's throw that off. Box already been cut, so we'll just open this up. And look at that. There's the black version, which is the best looking version by a mile, if you ask me. Also in the box though, first thing is this little packet, and that's really just for your SIM ejection or SIM removal. This is the little tool. You poke it in the hole, pops it out, you put your SIM in, put your SD card in, so you don't want to lose that. In terms of the rest of the stuff, brand new pair of Samsung headphones. This is actually unique. We usually don't talk about cables, but this time we are, and that's because that is a USB Type-C cable. So this phone is the first from Samsung with USB Type-C, so they do give you that. Before we freak out though, trust me, they aren't going to leave you completely hanging. Obviously a fast charger. And this is what I mean by they're not going to leave you hanging. So this is a micro USB to USB Type-C tip, if you want to call it, maybe an adapter. So all of your old chargers that still use micro USB, you can just slot this right on the end, plug it into your new Samsung Galaxy Note 7 and charge away with your old chargers. So they aren't leaving you hanging. This is your little USB connector. So when you take your old phone and you want to transfer things to your new phone, you use this. Makes sense. And then here are your extra S Pen tips and the little tool to remove them. I think I point this out in every Note unboxing now. I think it was looking to Note 3. I was still fairly new to the Note game because Tim had been reviewing them. And anyways, I was like, what is this? It's like a SIM removal tool. It's actually pretty hilarious. And I caught a whole bunch of deserved crap for it. So anyway, box over there. Here's the phone. Let's take plastic off. Get off plastic because we don't like you when you're on phones. And there's the other piece. All right, so again, Note 7, black version, sexiest version of them all by a mile. So you can also in the US get a silver version, fingerprint magnet. There is also a blue with rose gold trim version. It is so disastrously ugly. And look, I know that is the unpopular opinion of the moment, and everyone's infatuated with these brand new shiny blues and rose golds. I'm telling you, it is so ugly. Go black or silver. Ignore the blue one. There's also going to be a gold version, but that's only going internationally as far as we know for now. So in the US, black, blue ugly, or silver. So anyways, let's fire it up, talk through some specs before we get you on your way and we get to actually reviewing this guy. So obviously splash screen there, Note 7. In terms of the rest of the specs though, 5.7-inch Quad HD display, and that is Super AMOLED and it's dual edge. So dual edge meaning, hold on, T-Mobile. Thank you, T-Mobile. Dual edge, so it's sort of rounded around each side of the display. Now, It's not as drastic as former Edge phones, and that's why this is not an Edge phone. It's just a dual edge display on a Note 7. So this isn't that drastic slant we saw on the Note Edge a couple years ago, or last year's S6 Edges, or even this year's S7 Edge. It's just this really subtle curve. That said, it does have edge features to it, so it is still technically an edge display, but you guys get what I mean. It's just a little more rounded, not quite as drastic. Snapdragon 820 processor on the inside. Little concerned, I think some people were, about the fact that it's not running the new Snapdragon 821, and as far as we know, that's just because it wasn't ready yet for Samsung and this phone. So it does have Snapdragon 820, which is what all the other flagships this year have. The processor's fine, folks. Don't really worry about it too much. It also has 4 gig RAM, 64 gig internal storage, which is the base. There is a 128 gig version, but it's only available in China. So 64 gig, which is a lot of internal storage for most phones. And then you can also expand that with an SD card up to 256 gigs. And so, like as I mentioned earlier, that all happens up top here. SIM tray, use that little tool, pop it in, removes it, insert your SIM, insert your SD card, and that's quite a bit of storage for just about anyone. 12 megapixel camera here. It's that dual pixel technology that we saw on the S7 and S7 Edge. So basically same camera, and I have no issues with that at all. The camera on that is still the best in the business. So to include it here is awesome. You also have a 5 megapixel camera up front. Both cameras are f1.7, should be great in low light, selfies, whatever else you're doing with your camera. 3,500 milliamp hour battery on the inside, non-removable, fast charging, fast wireless charging, all of that stuff's there, so you should be good. Does take a nano SIM, Bluetooth 4.2. You also have 802.11 AC Wi-Fi, USB Type-C, which we mentioned down here on the bottom. And hey, there's a headphone jack, Motorola. Speaker, your S Pen, fingerprint reader here, iris scanner up top here. You kind of have everything. Oh, there's even a heart rate monitor, has Samsung Pay, so you have MST in there, so you can pay at any terminal here in the US. It is loaded. And again, it comes on every carrier, and so that's a big deal. One of the big features though, obviously IP68 dust and water resistant. So this is the first note with that. Drop it in water, wash it off if it's dirty. If you need to jump in a pool with it, you will survive. And that means the S Pen is on that same game as well. So water resistant S Pen. If you have the S Pen out and your phone gets wet and water goes rushing into that hole there, you'll be fine. You can even use the S Pen when the phone is wet, which is kind of fun. Oh, and because I'm sure you're wondering, no, you can't stick this in backwards. You can see if I stick it in backwards, it just clicks the pen in. So you can't stick it in backwards, which is awesome. Yay. And that's pretty much it in terms of specs. Just a tour here. Obviously, volume rocker over here on this left side. On the right side is your power button. Up top, there is nothing other than that SIM tray and a disasterly Qualcomm sticker. On the bottom, again, headphone jack, Type-C port, speaker, pen. And that's it. You still have that black, all black glass front and back. Phone feels... It really does feel incredible in hand. It's just so perfectly rounded from back, because there is that subtle curve to the glass on the back as well, to the metal sides, to the glass front. It's one of those things you should hold because describing it is kind of hard. It just feels incredible. Really, really well built phone. Since this is just an unboxing, we're not going to really do much of a software tour, but this is the latest update of Samsung's TouchWiz Skin. So you do have a little bit different layout here in the notification pull down. The settings look different. There's iris scanner features, and there's new S Pen features, which we'll dive into. It's definitely different, and it should be improved. I like that Samsung's still trying to simplify things a little bit. Anyways, this has been a long unboxing. We do have the phone now. We'll have many of them in days to come. We'll have a full review shortly. We'll test the camera. We'll test it all, show you everything you need to know. If you have comments, questions, let us know. We're Droid Life. Peace.